Welcome to Premier Roundup. It's your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan, and you know what it is. It's the weekly roundup of Gameweek 29. The Premier League is done, and once again, the league reminds everyone there's a massive difference between collecting points and collecting excuses, folks. Let's start where the noise is the loudest of, you know what I mean. Manchester United, we lost. And of course, everyone is biting. The fans are furious and the pundits are piling it in. Rivals are celebrating early Christmas, folks. It's natural for them. You know what I'm saying? Unbeaten run is gone. Pressure is looking back. And suddenly everyone is questioning the mentality again. Here's the twist. Despite the meltdown, United still are 3 points clear of both Chelsea and Liverpool. Crisis or overreaction, folks? Let's hear it. You know what I mean? I'm here for that. Speaking of Chelsea, they did the job. Chelsea got the win on the weekend quietly. We're eating away at the gap. Nothing spectacular, not chaotic. 3 points. Sometimes that's just all what matters. You know what I mean, folks? But I mean, Liverpool, yeah, still chasing signs of life, maybe, if you want to say so. Some hope remains. Maybe they find form when the title race has already left the station. I mean, at the top, Arsenal continue. They're doing what they're doing. Still haven't seen any Arsenal fans. They don't come to the show because, you know, when they lose, they cry. It's drama, it's panic. But right now, none. They're talking big. They're guaranteed. They're thinking they're winning 2 trophies this season. Well, let's see. And Manchester City, calm. You know what I mean? They're not doing the best, but they're still calculating and waiting because the Sharks are always smelling blood in this moment. And if they slip, then they will move for the moment like that. You'll see how it goes. But right now, elsewhere around the league, points are being traded like currency. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Everton is showing a bit of resilience. Brentford is staying stubborn in the European conversation. Maybe they get Europe. I don't know. Hopefully for them, maybe it might be a good thing. Fulham, Bournemouth refusing to be pushovers. Brighton still trying to turn football into actual points. People wanted Man United to be like Brighton. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Newcastle, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? They beat us this weekend after going 4 losses on the bounce at home. My guy D-Man was here talking about it, and now they did the job against Man United, folks. And yeah, it's a frustrating situation. It's a frustrating time. And you know how it goes sometimes, people. You're going to get in, but, you know, it's down. But other than that, survival at the fittest at the bottom. We'll see who gets the relegation, or we'll see who does not. You know what I mean? But let's talk about some of the key points where what's going to happen, because this is where we are right now. And at the Premier League table, Arsenal are leading. City is in the chase. United are there, being criticized, but we're still in 3rd place above Aston Villa, 3 points ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool, who have to battle each other before they can get to us. You know what I'm saying? So that they can come with all their chats. You know what I mean? But when you come to Man United, make sure you get it right, folks. Make sure they get it right. And like, no one expected us to be here, but certain fans that were believing that United are a better team than what Admiral said they were. It's going to be interesting to see what's happened there, but let's discuss what happened. You know what I mean? Chelsea with a win. Is the momentum building with Chelsea, guys? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, folks. Because when you look at the Chelsea performance this weekend, they finally got a win after a draw and a loss. And I mean, their fans are talking big again. My guy Chelsea Dan is talking a lot of smack again. He's thinking that they're finishing above us. You know, hopefully Davi doesn't come late again tonight, because he's going to come in to say that he's probably getting 3rd. Might sound delusional for Chelsea fans, but I mean, at the end of the day, they had a good result. They slapped Aston Villa 4-1. Very interesting performance. When you look at the aspect of how it was done, you know, they conceded early. You were thinking it's going to be a loss, and then Pedro came up with a hat-trick. Palmer did the job. So João Pedro doing his business there, folks. It's something, you know what I mean? You don't want to see it, but it happens. You don't want to see it, but it happens, folks. You know what I mean? Chelsea winning 4-1. Everyone's back to being super confident, talking like they're winning the league. But the real question is Chelsea going to keep this consistency up in the next couple of games? Because I can't say, folks, I can't lie. Like, I don't think they might be able to keep the consistency up. But that's a little bit of a tidbit there of where the results are going to come and the results are going to go. Let's see how it works out. Of course, you know, it gets really interesting. I see my brother Drex is pulling up in the building. Guys, get ready to welcome Drex in the building. You know what I mean? Long time no see, but he's always here representing with the homie. So you know what it is, guys. Make sure to smash a like on his channel if you haven't already. It's going to be interesting. Because, I mean, folks, the table keeps moving. And of course, we have to keep moving forward. And we're looking at coming up to game week 30, which will be in a couple more days, maybe 7 or 8. For those of you in the FA Cup, have a good time. For those of you playing in the Champions League and Europa League, enjoy Europe. I don't have that, so I can care less. You know what I'm saying? But I keep it honest. And of course, with the results as they are going, looking at another one of the teams in the top 4, you know what I mean, or chasing top 4, looking at Liverpool, it's not been great. Their performance, you know, it was certainly a flat performance throughout the game. I think they could have done a better job to get a result. It might have been interesting to see what they've done, but against Wolves, they were away against the bottom of the table team at the Molyneux. I'm hard pressed to say that, you know, yes, they had moments of domination. Yes, they had moments where they looked like they could have put the game away, but they conceded. Shout out to Drex in the building, broski. What's good? What's good?
Yo, what you saying? I cool.
Chilling, bro. You know it is. You know what I mean? Just talking about this Liverpool game. I reached home a little bit late from work too, bro. So you know how it goes. And then wasn't able to put in all these scores, but yeah, I'll talk about it anyway. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, Mo Salah, the goal was coming at that point with Mo Salah, yeah, when Mo Salah scored. It may not have necessarily been Mo Salah, but it would have been someone from Liverpool because there was a lot of blocks, a lot of close calls. And for what it's worth, yeah, I think Wolves defended doggedly. You know what I mean? And after Mo Salah and after Gomez scored, Mo Salah gained the equalizer. It was looking like Liverpool was going to get that second goal or maybe even a third. It looked like it had more goals. And then Andre came up with a big deflected strike. Now, like, let's be fair. You know, the strike wasn't always on target. The fact that it was deflected to the other side of the goal, you can't really criticize them and say, well, bro, if it didn't hit a player, it wouldn't have scored. Was going to score on the other side. I promise you guys, the way that guy hit that, and I watched that trajectory, even though the goalkeeper see it, he saw it late. And by the time he was going to stretch his hand out, it would have hit the back of the net. He was lucky that it got deflected because he would have been a little bit more embarrassed in that moment, to be fair. And Alisson not having the best season, conceding a lot more goals this season than he has ever conceded in any season previously, makes it interesting. Drex, what are your thoughts on this Liverpool Wolves performance? You know, how you felt about that game?
For me, it was a gift. The Liverpool goal was a gift. I know a lot of people said, "Oh, it was Liverpool. It was coming. Liverpool were gonna get a goal." I don't think Liverpool are gonna go on the night. I just felt it was a gift. And if you look at the way Salah hit that ball, a lot of people say, they want to put. Okay, let me just finish this one. I feel like Salah, right? The Wolves goalkeeper should have made a good save. That was his post. He was covering the first post. Salah put that ball right in your territory. You should be able to make that save. But you know what? It's Salah. Maybe the goalkeeper was expecting Salah to make a cut and go for the far post. So Salah just hit it one time. It's Salah. He did his thing. Goalkeeper, in my opinion, should have saved it. But it is what it is. But you see that goal, the Wolves game, the Wolves goal, it was going straight to Alisson. The winner was going. I feel like Alisson had it covered. That's how I feel. I feel like Alisson had it covered. If that, it was a huge deflection, right? And he just sent it the other way. If you look at the trajectory of that ball, it was going straight into Alisson's bucket. But that deflection, and which I was happy, like they lost that game. So yeah, but I don't think Liverpool would have scored on the night. Let's just leave it like that. I don't think Liverpool, they would have just hopped and popped and just the game would have ended maybe 1-0 in Wolves' favor.
It might have been interesting. It might have been very interesting. to see what would have happened there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, bro, like I can't lie, yeah. I can't lie. I kind of see it a little bit differently on the goal. I thought that it would have always score. To be fair, even though Allison saw it, I felt like he saw it a bit too late to really get his hands to stop it. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the power he hit the initial shot with, the fact that it deflect in the opposite direction means that touch was more like a real, like it was a stiff touch, a deft touch that it deflect, but it also was so hard that it wrapped around the player. You understand?
Yeah.
Because if it was a soft shot, it might have blocked in the same direction that it come from. You know, one of them ones there. So I just felt like, you know, yeah, it had to be a very good shot, and the keeper equally would have to did very well to be equal to it. And I'm not saying, you know, I mean, he would not get his hands to it, but I just felt like it was still going to the back of the net based on the fact that, you know, where he took that shot from and how hard he hit the shot.
Yeah.
But that was interesting, a performance. You know, I mean, looking at another one of the results this weekend, you know, I have to say, not really that impressed by the performances. I feel like this was the Leeds game versus Sunderland. You know, I kind of thought that Leeds might have sort of possibly had a little bit of an edge, you know what I mean, on the game, because they was going in on the back of a good performance against same team said before. And I think that, you know, they definitely had a chance. And it's one of those things, bro, like to go down the way they went down, they had chances throughout the game, and to lose that penalty on the 70th minute, I felt it was like, yeah, they're just dues for poor performances throughout the game, poor finishing, poor chance creation. That a large portion of the second half where they really didn't create anything, and Sunderland really grew into the game at that point. I don't know, bro.
But for me, that game was more like it was anybody's game at one point. Then towards the final third of that game, it looked like everybody's just gonna share the point, right? Around that, around second half, around the 60th minute, I looked at the game. I'm like, where's this goal coming from? You know, where's the goal coming from? If anybody was looking like scoring, I felt like it was the home side, because they did well in the first half. But I felt like, yeah, they did really well in the first half. They had more of the ball possession in the first half. Second half, I'm like, okay. When the second half started, I'm like, okay, let's see what this game would produce, you know. But 50 minutes, 55 minutes, it was looking like one of them games where you call dead game. Like, you know, everybody's just gonna go home and just you know, share the points. And but no, the 78th minute, Sunderland got the penalty. Even when Sunderland scored, after they scored that penalty, I still felt like Leeds would get a goal. But the only thing that just gave me the summary was the thing that just made me feel like this game was done was that feeling I had after 55 minutes. Like, yo, this game, there is no goal in this game. That was me. I just felt like it was just going to be a barren 0-0. But once Sunderland got that penalty, I was like, can Leeds get back into this game, you know? But Sunderland, kudos to them. They kept it that way until the final whistle. And yeah, it's good for them, though. It's good for them. A lot of people, I didn't really think they were going to do well in this campaign, but they've proved a lot of us wrong. So kudos to Sunderland for that win.
Yeah, I mean, interesting performance from them again. And I know, I mean, to say it less, we're going from one dead ringer to a game that we probably thought would have been more exciting, but happened to be a dead ringer because it's 0-0. No goals were scored in the 90 plus minutes of this game. And I mean, if you're looking at this game from a neutral perspective, you're just looking at one or two players that you find was interesting. You're looking for the performances and you're asking yourself, you know, where was these guys? You know what I mean, in this game?
Yeah.
You know, why they didn't do a better job? I mean, of course, it's Bournemouth. Like, let's be real. But, you know, I felt like Brentford, you know, being the away team, being a team in one of the teams in form, and not only having more possession, they would have had more shots. But who's to know that Bournemouth was the team that was coming out of the park looking to get the goal at home. You know what I mean? I think in terms of attacking, Bournemouth dominated the attack in the game over the period of the game. I just think that it was disappointing for me watching a team, not a Brentford team, that have a striker who's one of the top scorers in the league right now, if not the top scorer, in real good form and unable to create. I mean, Dango Tuara should have done a much better job in a couple of moments, and maybe Brentford would have had a goal or two.
I feel like if Brentford were home, were the home side, maybe they would have won that game. If they were home, maybe they would have won that game, nick 1-0 or something like that. But the fact that they were away, Bournemouth had more of the attacking threat than Brentford. The game was a little bit balanced. I think almost 50-50 ball possession. It was a little bit balanced, but when you talk about shots on total shots and all of that, it was more for Bournemouth, the home side. You would expect it, but they couldn't do anything on the night with all of those shots. But if the reverse, with the form that Brentford are on, I feel like if they were home, they would have won that game. If they were home, they would have won that game. That's how because when they played this last time, the reverse fixture was Brentford winning our 4-1. Clean. So you see what I mean? So I feel like if they were home, if they were the home side, they would have taken that one easy. But kudos to them not losing, not dropping, not giving up all 3 points, at least leaving that place with 1 point. Yeah, they sit right. I think they sit in 7th position, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they are 7th with 44 points. So
yeah, they're looking to get Europa League, bro.
Yeah, nobody. The minute Thomas Frank left and a few of their players left, Wilsa and Bomo and all them players, I think one of the guards who left to Arsenal. A lot of people thought maybe they would struggle, but no, they didn't. They are right there, 7th position, 44 points, looking to get Europe. It's good. It's good for them.
I mean, interesting times. I can't say anything else. I mean, like, I thought they was going to probably go down as well. I put my hands up. I said that to you. I was like, Brentford, they are lost cause. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a team that a lot of people thought would be a lost cause on them, they're quietly stacking up some points. You know what I mean? Everton slapped.
Those guys are moving.
And it didn't look like Burnley had a hope in the game, to be fair. Like, if I'm being honest, I felt like Everton they should have had like 4 goals in that game. I think poor finishing and a few moments of lackluster passing was the difference between them running away with the game in the first half, because they could have had 3 goals in the first half. The second half, they had to work hard to score that second goal, but I think in the first half, they had chances, broski. You know what I mean?
It's good for Moyes, right? It's good for Moyes. It's good for Everton. They too, they're looking to get into Europe. 43 points. They're in 8th position. I think 3 points above Bournemouth. 1 point. That's 5 points behind Liverpool. So they're looking. They're chasing. They are actually looking to get into Conference League, and
they're already in Conference League. Conference League is 8 and 9. So because if you understand, they're considered Champions League 1 to 5, and then Europe is 2, so it's 1 to 5. Europe is 6 and 7, and if a Champions League team win the FA Cup, have a 3rd European spot.
So if they get to Europe, we saw what Man did with West Ham. David Moyes, so he could replicate that. But the league is what we still have about 9 more games to go.
8 games, 9. Well, 9 with match week 30. Match week 30 is 9. So 9 games to go. It gets very interesting. You know what I mean? I still think there's a lot left in the league, but I definitely will have to say, bro, in my honest opinion, I really, 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 truly think that it's going to be very, very difficult for a team to stop Everton from getting Europe. I think where they are currently, they have secured Europe for the most part. You know what I mean?
Are we going to be doing the fixtures later? Because yeah, we might. Yeah, they play Arsenal next. So if they can put the spanner in that wheel, bro, that'll be interesting. That would be so interesting.
Well, I mean, Bali Tech might tell you my opinions on the game with Arsenal away at Everton. You know, so far two out of 4. I expected them to drop points
Everton
against
are going
Tottenham.
away.
You know,
Everton are going away.
Yeah, but Everton is not a weak team away. They come to United and get 3 points, bro. Like, let me be honest here. If they could come to United and get 3 points, they have to be telling themselves, we are going to Arsenal and get 3 points.
Don't think they haven't really. Yeah, they played the last 5 minutes. Arsenal has won 3. They've drawn 2. So they might be looking for this game, Fulham, West Ham. To think Fulham have been knocked out of the man, they lost at home to West Ham. They got knocked out of the FA Cup on 2 days ago. It's not looking good for Fulham at the moment. So I'm happy that West Ham is actually picking up points, putting the pressure on what they call them now, Tottenham, who we'll talk about later. But that result, I didn't really watch that game, but I'm happy that West Ham actually won that game. If there's any of the hams I really don't like, don't.
I didn't say you already have just.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's the Fulham, man. I really don't. Every time they play United, they feel like there's something. The coach feels like it's doing an audition. Is auditioning for a job. You get me? So, but nah, man. I didn't watch the game because I told myself I'm not gonna watch Fulham game anymore. But I'm happy that they lost that game. I'm happy West Ham is picking on points. I actually want Tottenham to get relegated if possible. So West Ham picking up points now. It's something I love to see. It's commendable. So yeah.
Oh, we see. I mean, I could care less about which one who get relegated.
Just bro, the truth is I care.
I just care about
where Tottenham to go down.
I just care about who players better suited to come to Man United we could poach. And if that team have better players we could poach, then they had to go for me, bro. Like, I being real. Whoever benefit Man United the most, you have to make use of the most. And in this game, I mean, it's not unexpected that Somerville would be the difference between both teams. You know what I mean? He did try his best to stop Man United. You know, I think he's a very interesting player. Not saying I would like to have him at Man United. I mean, I think he's good, but I think there are better options, better suited. I think at West Ham, if I'm looking at a player interesting that I would like to see in a Man United shirt, would be Matthias Fernandes. I have to be honest. You know, I think he could come into our midfield and probably come into games ahead of Kobe and come into games as a backup to Kobe. They could swap roles depending on the teams we're playing against, because I think what he offers will be a bit more dangerous against low block teams. And what Kobe offers against teams that want to play against us might be more interesting to have a little bit of that flip-flop, switch up balance, you know, that kind of thing. True. I always think about a dynamic team, and I always think about you're as good as your weakest substitute, and your substitutes to come in to change games and not change games for the worse, supposed to be changing games for the better. And I feel like Man United in recent times have been showing that the substitutes can come in and change games for the better. A lot of people, you know, made some criticisms, but I had a stream talking about transfers yesterday, and I was showing men the actual real stats. The real stats. Right now, we have 0.6 more goals per game. Yeah. 0.8 less goals conceded per game. We have 4 more chances per game created on average. 4 more shots created on average at Man United. I mean, it's interesting to say that. I'll just pivot into before I continue and go all on about Manchester United. Let me just finish off these because we must talk about the hated ham of our Spurs.
Bro, man,
And
this one.
and let me go in a little bit first now, because I feel like the Hot Spurs here, I mean, it's not my favorite team. I guarantee to tell all. The only thing is that one or two interesting players on the team. I can't say they are my favorite players. I can't say I like them too much. But what I can tell you all, they are interesting players in that team. I mean, Solanke's an interesting striker. You know, a lot of people might not rate him, but I think as a possible backup option at Man United, it might work to just come into games and do a job. Play Carabao Cup, play FA Cup while man them in Europe and come in as a sub if man injured is cool. Do your thing. If you're scoring goals, start. You can't hate that. You know what I mean? I think it's based on performance, but interesting, another red card for Tottenham. You know what I mean? They're moving like Chelsea. They're moving like some other teams. Even the team we played, Newcastle, went down to 10 men. You know what I mean? And the Sar at Palace was the Sar on duty that day, because, you know what I mean, the Tottenham Sar, he was not functioning well. I don't know why, but this Sar was scoring goals. He scored a pen and he scored a big goal, 5 minutes apart. And then Strand Larsen, since arriving at Crystal Palace, has become a dangerous threat. I cannot lie. I have no concerns about this guy when he was at Wolves, but now he's at Crystal Palace. He is scoring goals. He's back to that old form that he was seeing before he went to Wolves. In his first season, he was scoring goals consistently, and then he had this injury, and since he returned, he wasn't doing so well. But now he's back to that kind of form there, looking kind of a little bit dangerous. Maybe Palace might be, giving some hope to keep the manager in terms of, you're seeing some positivity coming back into the team. There's a big performance there. They have, other big teams in the top of the table to face coming up. I think it's going to get very interesting for Palace, because as we're talking about Palace, if we was to discuss, they still have some big teams to play coming up, guys. Like Crystal Palace's next few games is by no means uninteresting, folks. It's by no means. Like, if you see who Palace has to play in their next 4 games, guys, it could either be bleak, or it could leave the Prem reeling in shock at what the top of the table is going to look like in the next 3 games. Like, I'm being honest, because if you look at Palace next match is at home against Leeds. Yeah, and if you look at the upcoming matches after Leeds, they have Newcastle at home, West Ham at home, Liverpool away, Bournemouth away. And Newcastle are trying to avoid that drop zone. If Palace does a job and beats Newcastle, go on to beat West Ham, go on to draw or beat Liverpool, which they've done this season, they could see themselves causing 3 teams there to be further down the table than they are right now. And I'm not talking one place. I'm talking about 2-3 places. This is how close points are, folks.
Palace can do all, right? But you see that West Ham game, they better lose it, because I have interest in West Ham. I've taken interest in West Ham right now. They need to lose that game to West Ham. West Ham, on the other hand, need to win every other game, because we just talked about, Mark just talked about Palace next 4 games, right? Excluding the Champions League, so the Europa. But let's look at Tottenham's next 4 games, excluding the Champions League, because if you want to put that, they have a very tough game away at Madrid in the Champions League. That's coming up tomorrow. But looking at the Premier League, they go to Anfield on Saturday, I believe. Then they are home at Nottingham. They're hosting Nottingham at home. Then they go to Sunderland. Then they play Brighton at home on April 18th. That's 4 tough games right there. 4 tough games right there. Honestly, because you see that game against Nottingham Forest, that's gonna be a crucial game, because Forest right now sits 1 point behind Tottenham. Forest and West Ham, they sit 1 point behind Tottenham. So every game now feels like a final for them. But Crystal Palace, please do me one. Do not win that game against West Ham. There's something I want to check in this league. There's something I'm waiting to check in this league. Yeah, so because a lot have been said about this Tottenham team, because last season when we United and themselves found themselves in that zone, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, United are going to remain there this season. Tottenham is going to spring forward with the old Thomas Frank and all of that." And all of that. I'm like, yo, can't wait to see this happen. I can't wait to see this happen. But let's move on. What's the next one? This game, I watched the game. First half, it was gone. First half, the game was over. Although Tottenham took the lead, right? Solanke scored that goal, and it was after that. Van der Ven, don't know what he was doing. He got the red card. It was done. Game was done. How Palace did not score another 2 or 3 goals in the second half, only they can actually explain on the night. But that game, I felt like that game after the second goal from from Larson, a beautiful assist by Watson right there. I felt like, in fact, those 2 assists from Watson, bro. The first one, okay. The second was beautiful. The second one was beautiful.
It looked like Bruno assist anytime.
It was a beauty to behold. That outside of the left.
It was beautiful. I saw the assist, bro, but it didn't look like a Bruno assist. Honestly.
No, I'm not saying it's like a Bruno assist. I just said it was. It
just looked like right. It just looked like right. But anyway, shout out to Watson. Good performance. Shout out to him, of course.
Okay, because I was going to ask the question when we get to
Man United. Man United are about to say, piss off Watson because he's asking for something near 200k, and Man United don't see him as that. That's too much money. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, speaking about the Forest, bro, before we go into this, Mark, what do you have to say about this player that plays for Forest that has been everywhere about coming to United, going to City? What's his name? Anderson. Because I'm looking at the team, right? I know you can't just judge a team with one. I'm looking at the team. They're just what 18th, 19th, no, 17th position. 1 point. I'm level on points with West Ham, who sits in 18th position, right? If results don't go their way in the next 4 games, bro, they will be in relegation zone, right? But everybody seems to talk about this kid Anderson. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, we bought Roy Keane from relegated." But I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, but bro, listen, yeah. I watching some of them games, yeah. And I just want to say this. If he was the shining light in those games of a bad performance by the team, yeah, then I could agree. Because if them had seen Roy Keane when he was at the team that got relegated, he was the shining light, and he was looking like he was trying to carry that team to draws rather than losses and wins. You know what I mean? So Anderson is an interesting player. He's been playing well. There's some games he's good, and there's some games he's not so good. He has good moments sometimes. I think I'm not a big fan because, like I keep telling sometimes it's be a big fish in a small pond. You understand? A big player in a small club. And to be fair, like, let's be honest, when you saw his performances when they was playing in Europe, it wasn't good. Both midweek, Casemiro against him outshone him. He had no impact in the game for Forest until Casemiro was benched when we played against Forest. And if that is the case, then my goodness, folks, 100 million, Man United are looking to currently go at Newcastle's player, Tonali, for 90 million. We are not going to spend 180 million in the midfield to get him and Tonali. I don't think that's what United is going to do. I think United are going to get Tonali, pay 90 million, and then they're going to get 2 other players that maybe accumulate to 90 million. Maybe a Joao Gomez, maybe a Matthias Fernandes, maybe both. Because then you spend something like 90 plus 70, and you have 3 midfielders that directly improve your team. One replaces Casemiro as a starter. The other two competes with him and Kobe Menu for positions. Problem solved. Where is the need for Elliot Anderson?
I keep reading report that says the deal to Man City is all but done. I keep seeing.
No, if he want to go to Man City, yo, what did I tell you about Man City last season? Where did I tell you Man City would have spent most of the time in fourth? Probably. They're in second now, bro. If Man City lose 2 games, we are on them, brothers, bro. I am just saying.
We should have been on them, man.
We should have been on them, but bro, listen, the loss was coming, and
of course,
to transition to this game, I didn't get to really talk about Man City here, but I just wanted to say this: to be expected. Their performances have not been great, people.
100%.
Man City they're doing their thing. Of course, they have a lot of quality players. They spend a lot of money. This is what they do every summer. People, I don't know who thinks this or who thinks that Pep does not double spend. But if you look at the players they bought in the summer, they already crossed $1 billion. Nearly crossed $1 billion. They had 700 and something million in spend. In one season. And last summer they spent about about 400 million last summer before. So let's be honest, folks. This team is buy and buy and buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. And while Pep is a very good coach, it will take some time for these players to become a cohesive unit. Of course, they will be drilling. Of course, they will be doing repetitive things. But of course, they have personalities and strong personalities. Look at Semenyo in this team. He is slightly changing up the way the team is playing.
Look at his goal to open to kick things off in that game was beautiful. The way
it was a good goal. It was a good goal, but I would say, in my honest opinion, Nottingham Forest should have scored in the 10th minute. They had a chance and they should have scored, and they didn't. But Gibbs White, not too long after, Gibbs White, and Gibbs White scored a banger, bro.
Bro, that Gibbs White goal. Gibbs White goal, you can't take it. That's a very good goal. Everybody was sent packing. It deceived everybody.
No, there's rumors of Gibbs White to Man United, and the price of Gibbs White is nowhere near 70 million. It's like 45. That's a better deal.
Wow.
Like,
are we looking at Gibbs White, man?
I mean, he's interesting. He brings a certain aggression. He can play the 8th role. Next to Bruno, I think it would be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not going to say no to that, bro. I promise you. Like I have certain players I could accept coming into my midfield right now. And he is one of those guys. Like Anthony Robinson possibly becoming the new left back of Manchester United is not at all bad. And if we was to go ahead and take Baldi and a swap deal as well, we are locked down for the next 2-3 years, bro. We are fine. We will be doing exceptionally well next season with them two brothers fighting for that left back starting role. Promise you, King. Because Anthony Robertson, who's played for the USA, he's the only American player I rate, bro. The only one. Yeah.
The guy that plays for the Fulham left back. Right?
Yeah. I rate bro. His engine is good. His crossing is good. His ability on the ball is good. The way he just think about the game is good.
But how old is he? Because I know them at Ineos.
No, I think he's like 26 or 27 now. He's not an old guy, bro. Anthony Robinson.
Just because they like to do this whole thing, man.
Now he's 28, bro. Bond that, bro. I know. We are interested in Baldi, bro. I know. For those of you who don't know, Barcelona proposing a swap deal with Baldi over the Rashford situation. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a bad deal at all. I think Baldi could be very interesting at Man United. He's very good off the left, and he hasn't played much games this season. He was coming back from an injury that he suffered last season. And I think, getting a player like that who's going to work himself into fitness, you could bring him into the league slowly. You give a player like that a time to build himself and gain his confidence. And he has a lot of quality, Baldi. You know what I mean? I think he could be
Yeah.
very good for us. I would love to see that guy come to Man United. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see if he would make it to Man United. I hope Man United does that deal. I'll be honest with you guys. I think all Man United fans should be excited about the possibility of signing this player, because if we are not going to be able to sign a player like Nuno Mendes, I think he's the next best alternative. You know what I mean? He's not Nuno Mendes, but he's a young guy. I mean, Alejandro Baldi could be, I think, 23 or 24, between 23 and 25, I think. I think he could be around that age, somewhere around there. He's older,
okay,
bro.
let's go to the next one.
Oh, wait. He's 22. What?
That's a good age for Ineos and their people.
He is 22. Brother, get him to Man United. I'm telling you now, get this guy. Folks, trust me, this guy is very good. He's better than Dalot, and he could offer, he's immediately as quick as Dalot, if not quicker. Left foot, right foot, could cross the ball into the box. He has a shot on him. Yeah. He's good in the air, and he's better defensively. Yeah. He definitely comes in and improves us off the left-hand side, bro. He will be dangerous. Luke Shaw, he will probably have to hold.
Luke Shaw's done for the season. I mean, I know Luke Shaw is gone.
Yeah, I mean, this guy coming would bench Luke Shaw, bro. Promise you. He would bench Luke Shaw. Given time, he will bench Luke Shaw. He is very good. You know what I mean? Before we get to the big game of the night, we have to talk about this. You know what I mean? Trugging along, you know what I mean? You have to, sometimes it has to be ugly. We can't say no. We'll be honest and say that as a Man United fan, you know, you don't always have to win it pretty. I mean, Brighton and Hove Albion, sometimes a difficult team. Man United have had some poor performances against this team in the last couple of seasons. It's been, you know, pretty much uphill since then. We've been securing some wins and draws and no more losses against them. You know, shockingly enough, Arsenal took the lead on the 9th minute. I thought it was going to be a lot more, but for the largest portion of the game, Brighton was seemingly having the upper hand. Couldn't finish the dinner. They couldn't get and in some moments they wasted the opportunities to create chances.
Yeah.
They also had the most chances and shots on target in the game and corners. They had everything more. They was by far the better team. I mean, the keeper only had to make one save. Really? You know what I mean? Like, I can't say it anymore. Like, they was the better team and lost. And sometimes these things happen. And I mean, hats off to Arsenal securing a win from a losing performance. That is sometimes very important. You know what I mean? I ain't going to praise all it because, yeah, don't want to see Ole win neither. You know what I mean? Bonnet, don't want to see Ole win still. But realistically, if you all win, you all win. But I cast my team this season couldn't stop you all. I wasn't on us. But next season, you bet your bottom dollar, bro. Don't get smacked up home and away. I'll tell you guys now.
They better win it right now. They better win it now that everything is in their favor. They better win it, because if for some reason, if they don't win it from this position, bro, it's gonna be tough.
They never win it ever, bro. Arsenal, by the way, are the only team in the Premier League that has played 30 games. You know what I mean? So they are on 67 points, seemingly 16 points above Man United, 7 points above
Man City.
It gets interesting.
And their fixtures looks kind and good though. So
kind, but Man United, I mean, it gets interesting, bro, because they still have City to play. You know, I just looking at some of the difficult teams. They have Newcastle to play, they have City to play, they have Crystal Palace to play. You know what I mean? Arsenal.
Yeah.
It gets interesting for Arsenal, bro, because that's 9 points. That is 9 points, bro. And that 9 points to the good for Man United, bro. Even I pray that they and City could drop 9 points, bro. Because if they and City drop 9 points, well,
I can't say,
I
never,
just want to be close. I just want to be close, bro. You know,
because
just close.
They have
Bro,
after Everton.
it have 9 games left, you know, bro. 9 points is 3 games.
Yeah, they have Everton in between the Leverkusen game, right? So after Everton, they go play. They play
Leverkusen could slap them heavy,
Southampton,
like hit them at 4.
Yeah, then they
at 4.
play Bournemouth. Then they have Man City. I know they play Man City in the EFL Cup. Then they play Man City, I think 3 weeks after that. Then Newcastle. After that game, it's all easy games they have. They have Fulham, West Ham.
Well, that's a good 6 points to drop, bro. That's a good 6 points on a loss in the Champions League to hold on.
The truth is, if they don't win it from here, bro, they better do some prayers.
We will see. Because, you know, it gets interesting if they do. And I mean, talking about getting interesting, there's a lot of performances to be seen. But, of course, we must discuss the performance of Manchester United. And, of course, it was not really good. Shout out to Ray Carl Brown in the building. City won't win all the remaining games. And now it's only 8 to 9 games left. 8 games left for Arsenal. They're the only team that have played 39 games for everyone else. And United won't win all games too. I see us losing more games in the run-in, to be honest. I think you need to get your glasses on, my brother, because
let me even see. I said this. I echo his opinion as well, but let's see their United. They have Villa, Bournemouth, Leeds, Chelsea, bro. The only game I see that's gonna give a headache, it's the Liverpool one, and we are home. So,
and it's a big team coming to Carrick at home. I mean, if we're not getting up for that, then I'm not expecting anything else. I'm expecting a performance quite like Man City against Liverpool, because this Liverpool team is going to want to come out and come at us and try to score goals. And I mean, teams like that tend to face more difficulties beating Man United this season in the last 8 games. I just feel like that is the kind of game that is set up for us to win. Ray, I mean, Chelsea at the bridge. Listen to me, Ray. Remember I tell you, Ray, we're going to beat City. Remember I told you, Ray, we're going to beat Arsenal at the Emirates. Remember I told Tony that as well. It's why Tony and Waffle Dan and these brothers from Arsenal didn't show up the game, because I asked them to do a co-watch along with the Arsenal game. They say yeah, but then when the heat was getting close, they was like nah, because they felt the loss coming. And since then, I haven't seen them on the channel, my bro. So yeah, it might be interesting. That might be a thought, and that might be the past. But what I can tell you is, bro, big up and shout out to that. But what I'm telling you right now is that Man United is going to be slapping Chelsea at the bridge, bro. It's going to be a home and away win from Man United versus Chelsea this season and against Liverpool. I promise you, bro. I told you.
Chelsea at the bridge, I don't think we'll lose, right? We might walk away with the 3 point, but I don't think we'll lose.
Bro, listen, yeah. Even in this stinker here, and the stats are there to show you, bro. Even in this stinker here, we had more chances in the game than when we played on the Amarim, bro. Against the same West Ham team. I just want to put that out there, you know. So don't come to say that we was creating more chances against Amarim. You know, Royden Frost was telling me the other night we had more shots on target with Amarim, bro. On that Carrick, we have 4 more shots and 4 more shots on target per game. You understand? I know we haven't won at Stamford Bridge in 2 seasons, but we could win at Stamford Bridge.
It's always the first time. They said we haven't won at the Emirates. They did say we haven't won at the Emirates
in 9 years, bro. About 9 years, broski. And I'm telling all them, since the season began, we going to the Emirates and win. And I'm telling all of that, because I know this season feel different. We pull a stinker, bro. Sometimes you lose. It happens. There's no, we don't stink, bro. We lost 1 game in 8. 1. And you man them acting like if we was so shit. That is wild. Like, I can't even understand. Like, I get being upset that we lost to Newcastle, but bro, that physical game in that stadium, there should have been some sending offs, bro, more than just 1. And of course, we should have had a penalty, bro. This brother kicked down Benjamin Sesko in the game. It wasn't even funny. The man But Dan Burn kick away the man foot. He was supposed to get a red card and get sent off. We were supposed to have a penalty. Of course, we missed opportunities. The Magic Man in front of goal twice and missed. Blast over bars from in the 6-yard box. How do you do that? Being the Magic Man. Then you're trying to find Sesko, but before you just do a back flick, like what you give to the defender, Dallo, before, and lost the ball, you could have give Sesko the back flick. Let him just slap it in the back of the net. You understand? Mistakes happen, bro.
Let me say something to Ray. Ray, we had five shots. I keep saying this. We had 5 shots on target and only converted 1. You get me? So, yeah, you know how they say it's a lot difficult to play 10 men than to play 11. You know that for sure. The goal they scored, it was a very stupid defending by even prior to that goal. You could actually see Malacia already committing some defensive blunders prior to that winner. You could tell. Looking at it, I was like, why did he even come on? Are they trying to improve his market value so when they want to sell him off in the summer, they get something for him? Bro, there was no need for him to come on, bro. There was no Newcastle they shouldn't have blown. That is pure fallacy. That is emotion speaking right there. This is emotion speaking right there. When you say blow, let me tell you this. There's nothing about blow in the second half.
Dominated in the second half.
That's not wait.
Hold on.
Total shots, United had 7. They had
4.9 possession to end the game.
No, I'm looking at the second half alone.
We had 14 shots in the game in total, more than Newcastle. Yeah. We had equal amount of shots on target. Yeah. Equal amount of big chances created. We had 2 more corners than them. Our keeper had 1 less save to make in the game.
This problem, you mean hiding our second half display, bro? But we're telling you the second half display.
Second half was the better half.
As you're making it sound, bro.
Second half was the better half.
Against Crystal Palace, our first half was quack. The second half was highly improved. This game that you are making sound like the second half was bro. Nobody saw that goal you said you saw coming.
You never see that coming, bro.
You never saw that goal coming. If
nobody
Malacia
saw that goal coming,
tight on that
forget
guy,
Malacia, bro.
And
coming. This is why I go and tell man here, forget Malacia, bro. If that keeper don't stop watching goals going in the back of the net, he will get replaced. Somebody will come in to compete with him. Promise you. He watched that. He could have reacted and punched it. And that would have been the end of that, bro. It would have been the end of that. Yeah, the guy watched the ball go in the back of the net, bro. Literally. He just watched it go around him. Like, who does that, bro? You getting paid to save, bro.
How did you see that goal coming when it was United that was on the front?
Dominating the last 20 minutes of the game.
The last
shot after shot. They couldn't come out of the half, bro, for 20 minutes.
Even that play, in their own half. United, if not for copyright thing, I would have shown you that play. United were on the front foot. We were halfway. We were inside their own half trying to
20 minutes. For 20 minutes, bro,
we passed the ball. They intercepted and they played it fast. Even prior to that counter, you could see Malacia not even the Osua guy. It was gasping for air, bro. Like you could see when
it was a valiant run, bro. It was a valiant run.
He was just running.
Bro, it was a valiant run.
He would take the ball down the line to go, but he saw Malacia's positioning and Malacia's
and he just cut in. I would have bring him down. I don't know about Malacia, I'd bring him down. He talking about that break was coming. So for 20 minutes, you dominating the game. You getting chance after chance for 20 minutes. And
one says we wasn't shooting. Coming. How did the goalkeeper make a fine save from Drex's shots?
Killer, we have more shots in total shots in the game than Newcastle, bro. I don't know what he's talking about. He's seen on the front game. Because he said Newcastle had more chances than us.
I think the loss got to him. The loss got to him real bad. If the argument is the midfield wasn't tough enough to deal with the Tonalis and the what's his name, Joe Linton, I agree with that. Right, I agree with that.
We could agree there, but they are the
tell
most
me that you saw
midfield.
The second goal, you saw their winner coming. No, that's not 100% correct, bro.
We was the dominant.
We were on the front foot, bro. They even that play they gave to Osua, right? I'm telling you, if it was a Luke Shaw, if it was a Martinez, that guy will not make that move of trying to cut in. He saw the gaps, bro. Maguire told Malacia,
PTSD holding on to you, bro.
cover.
Give it up. Take a deep breath, bro. Take a walk. Forget the PTSD. The ball moving faster than it ever moved under Carrick, bro. And the stats, you need to Google it, bro. Because right now, United attack is one of the fastest attacks in the league, bro. Yeah. Bro, under Amorim was the slowest, bro. Down to 10 men, of course. Playing 10 men, not easy, bro. And of course, we did lose. But, broski, it's not one of those times. It's not one of those situations. Like, you need to understand that I don't think you was watching the game. We're not talking about West Ham game. We're talking about Newcastle. We talked about West Ham last week. Yeah, this is Newcastle tonight versus Man United, bro. I don't care about the West Ham game. That done gone. And of course, you can say the ball was slow, but I think you disagree. When have we ever played fast under Amorim? I just want to ask.
Man says down to 10 men. We were down to 10 men when Everton won the game against Amorim, if you want to say that.
Again, as well. Forget Amorim, bro, but understand what I'm telling you, Ray. Some games you will lose. It has happened to the best teams. Like, you don't see fans crashing out, bro. You lost. Move on. That is football. Sometimes you will lose. You can't win them all. There is no team winning them all, bro. And especially in this season where all the big teams have lost more than us, the only team that hasn't lost as many games as Man United this season, broski, is Arsenal. Like, I don't understand what you talking about, Ray. No, hold on, Drex. Hold on. Because I find them talking like they don't know nothing, right? Let me educate them, right? The three teams at the top of the table have less than 6 losses, have 6 or less losses. Arsenal, Manchester City, and Man United. Everybody else have lost 8 or 7 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 13 times, broski. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, bro? I understand. The performance wasn't great. It was not an amazing performance against Newcastle away. But what I am trying to explain to you, Ray, is that you cannot expect the team to just win every game just because we suck our manager and somebody said to you that the manager prepared this team and this is why they're winning. Broski, other teams come in to do their job as well. The opponent is our opponent. They can only beat who in front of you, bro. And sometimes, while you trying to do your thing, the opponent, if you looked at that game, yeah, the game was one of those games where the referee was letting a lot go in that game. And our players was on the end of a lot of risky tackles, bro. Yeah. So you trying to tell me you can't understand the men and them being thrown off their game?
Where did anybody say we dominated the game?
Bro, we dominated for the 20 minutes of the game. We were in Newcastle's half
talking about. We're telling you that
chance after chance for 20 minutes, bro. And you said we were the worst.
You said you saw the goal coming, meaning you saw the goal coming, meaning United were under pressure when you saw. That's why you said you saw the goal coming. But we are telling you now that we do not believe you saw that goal coming.
Look what Chelsea fans saying here. Carrick is the man for the job. United actually look a competent team under him. And I can't disagree. Like bro, nobody can be more vexed than me. I was telling D-Man, we're going to smack him up. They're on 4 losses at home. I expected to win. And then we lost. But the way you man them talking about
I sent the video clip for that goal.
That is crazy. You see this statement here? The fact that Man United is shit, I could never understand that. Because guess what, bro? We are literally 3rd in the Premier League table.
How we shit when you lose 1 game out of 8, bro? Lose 1 game out of 8. You've drawn 1.
Bro, listen.
You've won 6, drawn 1, lose 1.
Men say some of the games we win was luck and all kind of thing. But bro, I disagree. I fully disagree. Yeah, I've been on it. You see all our luck talk? Save that for somebody who don't watch football. Yeah, football, bro.
Sometimes
Newcastle had
football goes
Newcastle.
With luck. So
what is man talking about? We only had 1 shot more than them, bro. Bro, Newcastle had 12 total shots. We had 14. Whether or not we had one or we had two more, we had more, which means we created chances. And the worst half of our performance was the first half. We were terrible. We should have scored 3 or 4 goals in the first half. We were terrible. And when I complain to men that the offense is putting strain on the midfield and the defense by not doing their job, we need to remove Mbeumo because he's not creating anything. Everybody wanted to tell me the whole team playing shit. The whole team was not playing shit, bro. Yeah? And
Yes,
listen
brothers,
to
good
me, bro.
evening. I have to come up and correct you all with that Newcastle game because you all thinking
Don't
that
make
we played
nobody
really,
stats on
really,
the
really good.
screen.
But
Bro, nobody never said we played
no,
really,
no, no.
really
Let me
good, bro.
explain why I said that we were bad. I see the game, the entire game. We weren't penetrating because Newcastle were down to 10 men is why we didn't lose it more. We only had 14 shots. Them man had 11, so we had 3 more. So we weren't dominating. Them man had 4 shots on target. We had 5
Bro, they had
shots on
9
target.
shots in the first half, you know that,
We
right?
had 4 shots on 5 targets. Yeah, we only had 1 more shot on target more than them.
Bro, you know 9
Hold
of
on,
the
let me
shots come in
finish.
the first half. I just wanted to know 9
The
shots come in
first
the first
half,
half, there, bro.
yeah, the first half. When I sent the super chat in, when Bruno gave away the penalty, we went to 1-1 because Bruno put the free kick and Casemiro came in. I think, yeah, he came and scored. So then in the second half, you and the stream said, let's go. And I thought, okay, these brothers came out in the second half as flat and as dead as anything I've ever seen on the Ten Hag, or Oli. And Newcastle were actually on the front foot. And I said to myself, Newcastle will score here because I wasn't seeing anything from the team. So when the goal came, I said, oh, yeah, because we were getting countered. We wasn't penetrating. Okay, maybe we were trying to score a goal, but Newcastle had us defended. They were blocking shots. We weren't really doing anything.
Listen.
So when the goal came,
I feel like you're being disingenuous, bro.
When the goal came, no, hold on, brother. Let me finish. When the goal came, I wasn't shocked because I saw the cracks happening because what's his name? Kobe was losing the ball. That's why I gave Kobe a bad rating. He was losing the ball. We were getting outrun by 10 men. So when the goal came, I said, yeah, because we lacked ideas. And when Casemiro came off, that was it. So I said to myself, why are these lads talking about we played well against Newcastle? West Ham was the worry because West Ham was the same.
Man say, no. First of all, don't get man wrong, bro. We said that you said you saw the goal coming.
Yes,
and
because
I just wanted to clarify for
everybody.
I just wanted to hold on. I just wanted to clarify, right, that Newcastle had 9 shots, if not 10, in the first half, which means they only had 2 shots. This means they only had 2 shots in the second half. 2.
They had 11 shots on the target.
They had 2 shots, bro.
And had 4 shots on target, and we had 5 shots on target.
Listen to me, I wanted
so
to
they didn't. They didn't. But let me hear me out.
Hold on.
They didn't outshoot us,
bro.
For most of the entire game.
Listen to me, bro. I'll let you talk, bro. Yeah, I want to explain you the game because I have these stats right in front of me right here.
Me too. Actually,
they had 9 shots in the first half, which means they only had 2 shots in the second half. I want you to understand.
Yes, but they still had. But I want you to understand something. They still had one. We only had 1 more shot from them and target from them. So that shows you. That shows you, Mark. No, but hold on, brother. That shows you that we wasn't penetrating. No, but that shows you we wasn't penetrating.
Penetrating is cool. I just wanted to finish saying what I was saying because I just wanted to clarify. You understand the arguments that we're making here to say, well, the second half was the better half because, like I tell you, we had less shots in the first half than they had in the first half. We had 5 shots in the first half, which means 9 of our shots came in the second half. And in that 20-minute spell where we was camped in the half of Newcastle, you said When they scored, you were seeing the goal coming, but we was camped
Yes,
there for
and
20
this is
minutes.
the reason why. The reason why I
chance
saw
after chance after
But the reason
chance
why I
after
saw the
chance.
goal
No,
coming
hold on.
because we wasn't
So we
shooting.
created
We had
so
five, but we wasn't shooting on target. We wasn't working the goalkeeper goal.
in that 20
We only had
minutes,
5 shots on target, and they had 4 shots on target. So the reason why I said the goal was coming because we were working the ball
do you know
slow
what is
from side to
considered
side.
a shot on target?
Listen,
Do you know what is considered a shot on target? I just asked.
Yes, when the ball goes to the keeper,
okay,
and he has to make a
we
save.
hit the post twice in the second half. You know that is not considered a shot on target.
That's not considered a shot on target. Yes, but
okay, so the
entire game, for the entire game, we've only had 1 more shot on target than Newcastle.
Who cares?
Because we wasn't penetrating, brother.
Stop talking about the entire game. We're talking about the second half.
But the second half is the same thing. We wasn't penetrating enough to get the goal. What we were doing in the but listen to me, boy. But listen to brother.
I don't understand.
What we were doing in the second half, we were moving the ball from side to side to side, and this guy was refusing to cross the ball into the box. And when we lost the ball,
and Bumo, he didn't cross no balls.
And Brumo and Diallo and Ahmed and all of them man was refusing to do that. So when we lost the ball, what happened was they attacked us on the flank. Malacia and Maguire wasn't looking at the ball.
They get in the second half
because they were more penetrating. They were more penetrating us.
They wasn't penetrating because bro, you're not listening. No, clearly you're not hearing nothing nobody's saying because
I watched the game myself.
No, you watch the game, right? But clearly you see 10 shots in the second half from Newcastle when they only had 2.
Listen, I saw the shots from Newcastle, but I'm sorry. Sorry, what I'm saying, I saw the shots from Manchester United, but we wasn't penetrating. But those shots wasn't penetrating shots, brother.
How could Newcastle be penetrating in the second half when they had only 1 shot in the 44th between the 40th?
Did you not see the first? Did you not see the first start of their first half when we were actually on the back foot?
Bro,
you see 20 minutes.
I end this conversation.
20 minutes.
It does make no sense talking.
No, but you see 20 minutes of the game, but you didn't see the whole 45 minutes of the second half.
You don't understand.
Mark, let me take over. So Ray, your point is Newcastle played us off the park, right?
No, my point is we wasn't penetrating enough to score the goal in the second half. And when Newcastle at the start of the second half was better, was more on the front foot than us.
They had 1 shot.
They were pushing us back.
In the start of the second half.
Yes, we had 20 minutes of trying to score a goal, but we weren't going to score a goal because we wasn't penetrating. So when the goal came,
had 1
I knew that the goal was going to come because of the way that we were too far up the pitch and we weren't trying to score a goal. We weren't even trying to shoot at the edge of the box.
Bro,
and Newcastle was making the blocks.
When you say we were not trying to shoot, I don't understand. When you say that we were not trying to shoot, did you see?
No, the 9 shots come in the second half, bro.
The
9 shots come in the second half, bro.
The goalkeeper off guard. We were trying to. You playing in Newcastle side. Okay, now you said something that I would only agree to because of two things. What? You're playing a Newcastle side. Mbeumo should have been off earlier. Malacia had no right. Malacia had no right to come in the second half.
I agree with all that.
Because you cannot be playing Malacia over Hayden Heaven, right?
Never.
You could have sent somebody else to the right, Dalot to the left wing,
exactly,
and put Euro on the right wing, send Avon,
but don't blame it on the whole squad, bro.
You good?
Don't blame it, bro.
Because why I'm telling you this that Malia is all on Malacia. If you see the way I sent you the clip on the group. Go look at it.
Bro, I saw it already. Yes, but it's not just Malacia.
If you see the way Malacia even defended the first ball that we lost. Now the guy that actually scored the goal, he fumbled on the ball on the throw line, almost close to the throw line. He fumbled on the ball, and Malacia was still behind him. The man saw that Malacia was not even getting close to him. And decided to say, you know what, rather than run this clock down, let me try my luck. Let me try and see if I could take this Malacia guy on. And
but you couldn't see that the goal was going to come because you saw when you saw the break.
How could
you saw the break? And I said, hey up. Listen, I saw the break.
Hold on.
Suck the pressure and hit them on the break. That was the thing.
You broke it down, so let me break it down.
Hold on.
I saw the break.
No,
hold on. I saw the break. No, hold on. Let me finish.
No, that's no. Hold on. Because, like, you don't understand what we're trying to explain to you, yeah? You seen a break that come after United have 9 shots on goal in a 20-minute period. United had 9 shots on goal rate.
Listen,
Hold on, bro.
listen to me, bro. This is how we always concede goals, bro.
I'm going to let you talk, but I want you to hear what I'm saying, right? Newcastle had 0 shots for 30.
Bro, it's not about the shots.
No, listen to me. They had no attacks on goal for 30 minutes. None. 0. None in the second half. None. For 30 minutes at the end of the second half, they had 0 attacks on United goal. 0 chances.
Let's wrap up so that I could show this guy the thing when we went off air.
Bro, listen.
I'll show
you're not hearing it, bro. Like you
need to listen, bro. You have not watched football for years.
Not the school.
Have you not watched football for years? Not understand why you lose in the last minute of the game
for years.
Bro, I've watched football for almost 50 years now, bro. You know when listen, we do the same thing to teams, bro. What happened is we were too far up the pitch, trying to score and we weren't penetrating.
Trying to break them down.
But let me finish. The reason why we conceded because we're too far up the pitch and we have slow defenders.
The reason why we conceded is because the goalkeeper watched the ball go in the back of the net, bro.
When that break happened, the whole team didn't come back. The whole team didn't come back as supposed to.
The team didn't.
They did need to. They did need to because
sometimes all they need to
the goalkeeper saved that. Listen, you can't blame the goalkeeper there. You can't blame the goalkeeper there. He curled the shot in the top corner. He didn't curl the shot in the bottom corner. He curled it in the top corner. So you can't say, "Oh, the keeper should have done it." Even if the keeper might have, bro, the goal was called. Bro, the goal was crawled around Maguire. The problem is we had Maguire and Malacia back. Because the whole team was forward and we didn't look out for the long ball in channels and we don't do it. We conceded the same goal against Fulham in last year, I think, on the 10 when we were going at home. In the last...
Bro, you don't understand. Like, he keep not understanding, Drex. I keep blaming Saint-Lamens for those 2 goals because Saint-Lamens watched those goals score, standing there, foot flat, watch it hit the back of the net.
I want to show you. See, I actually slowed the timer down. I can't
understand, bro. Man, them just
Ray, when we end the show, I'll show you something.
Big up to everybody watching it. Too late, bro. Too late. Guys, let me know in the comments about this debate what you guys think, because I certainly think that the goalkeeper is at fault for the goal. Saint-Lamens cannot be allowed to stand flat-footed and watch goals. He needs to dive. Whether or not he miss or not, he has to dive. We are not paying our goalkeeper for defenders to always help him. We are paying our goalkeeper to stop shots, broski.
But bro, you're not seeing the lack of the team, bro. You're not seeing it, bro.
I'm not caring, bro, because here are going on. The team is not our fault for everything. When the team attacking,
bro, when you lose the ball.